Hey, you want to see something really scary?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
What's blood for, if not for shedding?
Welcome to Fright Night.
Welcome back to Jump Scare. I'm Betty.
And that makes me Shad.
This week we covered 1972's Silent Night, Bloody Night.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was left living.
His hands. Somebody cut off his hands.
Silent Night, Bloody Night, starring Patrick O'Neill and Astrid Heron.
Yeah, Butler wasn't kidding. Nobody's lived here for years.
Don't laugh at me. I want your ID. Some maniac escaped from Margaretville.
Would you like to drive there?
Also starring John Carradine. Was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was left living. Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Now, this is also known as Deathouse or Night of the Full Dark Moon, which is another one of those crazy 70s horror movies that has 5 different titles. But the notable thing about this is this was the first movie ever released by Canon. And they would go on to do some great things there for a while. But yeah, this was their first movie, which is kind of interesting.
The movie has Mary Warnoff, who you would know her from Eating Raoul or Night of the Comet, or I should say most recently, but she was also in The House of the Devil.
Ooh, she was in The Devil's Rejects too, but that's not one of my favorites. This was actually co-written and directed by her husband at the time, and he didn't do a whole lot of things. His name is Theodore Gershuni, and he did this and a couple of other movies in the 70s, but he went on in the 80s to do to write and direct several episodes of Tales from the Dark Side and Monsters. He also worked on some other TV shows like The Equalizer and stuff like that. And this was co-written by Jeffrey Konvitz, who you may remember was the guy who wrote the novel for The Sentinel and the screenplay for the movie that was based on that, which is another crazy 70 movies that we've covered. I think it's kind of funny that they both teamed up to work on this, you know. This is also one that, because of the name changes and they didn't register it properly, it fell into public domain, kind of like Night of the Living Dead. And so that's why it didn't get a lot of releases, because there was no money to be made from it, because anybody could release it.
Until Elvira had it on her show.
And that's when it kind of became a revival of people going like, oh, this is not a bad movie. Because a lot of the movies Elvira had were terrible. So the really good ones tend to stand out, you know?
Yeah. Patrick O'Neill was also in the film. He's also from Ocala, Florida, so he's a Floridian.
Okay.
James Patterson is also in the film, not the author, and the actor James Patterson, and John Carradine.
Yeah, the John Carradine who doesn't speak in a word in the entire movie.
He is a deaf mute in the movie, or one of those two.
He has hearing aids in, so he can hear a little bit.
A little, yeah. He can hear. Yeah, he can hear. He can hear a little bit. Yes.
But he communicates only by ringing a bell.
Yes.
He rings a bell for yes, no, or whatever. He rings a bell.
Now we saw this on Tubi.
No,
right?
Canopy.
Canopy. Yes. Okay. Canopy. See, this is a movie that would be on Tubi, though.
Yeah, I think it is on Tubi as well.
Yeah.
We just happened to watch it on Canopy, and it's a great one for Canopy, because this is one of those ones that I feel like a lot of people will discover there, where they're just scrolling through, because it popped up on the holiday movies there.
In this, the Canopy one is the one that's tied to your library card,
Yes,
right?
yeah, use your library to get that.
So if you live in the United States and you have a library card, use it, because Canopy has a ton of films. It's new films that you wouldn't even think.
Yeah, the Monkey's already on there.
Wow.
The Monkey's on there, and there's a ton of classic horror movies on there. Besides, lots of other movies too, but just speaking of horror, there's a lot of great classic horror movies on there. Things like the Andy Warhol, Dracula and Frankenstein, that are pretty expensive Blu-rays if you go to buy them. But if you just want to watch them, then Canopy's the place to do it, because there's a lot of great horror films on there.
Now the plot follows a series of murders that occur in a small New England town on Christmas Eve, after a man inherits a family estate which was once an insane asylum.
There you go, like it is.
And
he sends his lawyer to go do the dealings.
Well, wait. The film is narrated. It's narrated in a style kind of like, it reminded me of like The Lady in White. I'm trying to think that other movie that's narrated. It was narrated by a gentleman. It's another 80s movie, but it was a big thing. Oh, Ghost Story. It was a big thing to kind of like narrate. So it's not entirely narrated. It's on and off, and it's narrated by Mary Warnoff.
And she's kind of telling you the story of what happened. She's telling you later on. It's obvious it's later on, and she's telling you, well, this is what happened back, last year. And she gets into the whole history of the house. Yes.
Now, on Christmas Eve, a man just runs out of his house on fire.
In 1950.
In 1950.
We got a flashback to 1950 first.
And that man, he left a will, right? And the will
said no one could sell the house or anything. It had to stay in the family. And he had a son that went to California to live. And the son was wanting the house to be sold now that like the 20-year limit had expired. And so he has his lawyer come to town to do the business of selling the house.
Who comes to town with this mistress?
Yes. He comes in his fancy little car, and he's calling his wife from the payphone. It's like, no, I'm at the office. I'm working hard. I'll see you and the kids later. And then goes out and gets in the car with the mistress, who's wearing her rabbit fur coat.
Rabbit fur coat.
That this guy bought.
It is a winter horror, which we love.
Yeah.
And I never heard of this film. Have you heard?
I had seen it for years, like listed on various streaming services, but I never watched it.
The poster is crazy.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in the poster. Now, having said all of this, we went in this blind, had no intention. This wasn't one. We usually choose movies we want to cover, or movies that obviously we have a screener for, or whatever. We just were like, oh, what are we going to watch? We want to watch something that's wintry, that's like a Christmas horror that we haven't seen. We didn't intend to really cover this film, but after watching the film, we thought, yes, we must tell the people about this movie.
Tell everybody about this one.
Because this movie is, it's nuts. This movie is nuts.
So one of the things that happens is the lawyer goes to the meeting with the town, and he's like, I guess the town has been kind of like taking care of the house for the last 20 years. And there's been someone out there as a caretaker, and he tells the town, like, I'm giving the option for you to buy the house. Because if you want to keep it with someone here instead of someone else buying it or whatever, I am authorized to sell you the house. I'm going to fire sale it to you for $50,000.
Yes. Now,
which this is a huge mansion with a lot of property, and
yes,
it's 1972, so I'm sure $50,000 sounded like way more.
No, $50,000 was like a whole bunch of money back then. That was that was an expensive house. But the house, though, first, there's so many things that let me just try to break this down. The house, at this point, we have not seen the house. The audience has not seen the interior of this house. We've only seen the exterior. And we don't see the interior until after the lawyer, who has decided that he needs to stay in town, obviously, to wait for their answer and or the money, so he can go back to his client, who's a descendant who lives in California. and let him know what's going on. He's going to be actually staying in the house. Now,
and they very like, no, why don't you let us give you a free room at the hotel?
At the Pleasant Inn.
Paradise.
Paradise Hotel. At the Paradise Hotel. We'll pay for you. We'll pay for you to stay there. And we'll do all these things. And he's like, no, I'm good. Now, mind you, this is... Now, as I said, the movie is nuts. For me, as someone that needs... I'm a person, I need like more information. I need to know, is there a good continuity? Like, what's going on? Are there plot holes? Overall, the movie's very intriguing. But there's some fucking parts that just drive me nuts. Like this. The movie has been vacant for 20 years.
The house.
Okay? The house, I'm sorry, not the movie. The house has been vacant for 20 years. They entered the house. The house is immaculate. It looks like...
They did say there was a caretaker.
Yeah, but the caretaker was cleaning the house. It was taking all the cobwebs up. It's been vacant for 20 years. It's gonna be dusty. It's gonna
if you have a good caretaker.
It's gonna... and it's in a place where the environment is constantly changing. There's seasons there. More specifically, winter. That fucks shit up. Rain. In 20 years, you have to change a roof like every 10 years. In 20 years, there's been no... the rats, the frozen water pipes, the holes, the bird's nest. The raccoon that fucking must have... That could have gone in there.
There was fires going to the fireplace. So obviously the fireplace was fine. They kept that clean. They kept the flue and everything operational.
Whatever.
Electricity.
The house was perfect. It looked like someone just literally just like, it was like an Airbnb and someone had just left and it was perfect. It was just like there was nothing wrong with this house and it was fully furnished. Everything looked great. There was not even one speck of dust in the fucking photos and they showed plenty of frames. Okay, plenty of photos. And I'm pretty sure there also was a grandfather clock, and you have to have someone come in and tune that shit ever so often. Like, they have to come in, they have to, like, crank it. It's like a whole thing. That's why people don't have grandfather clocks anymore. It's a pain in the ass.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
So, yes. Then and then why would you want to stay in your client's house? Like, in a house that the townspeople are like, nah, don't stay there. Like, no. They try to do everything to get him not to stay at the house. And the house has a reputation. It's not like the lawyer doesn't know that the house has a reputation. It was a lunatic house before. It was an insane asylum. I don't want to stay in no damn insane asylum. Are you crazy? I don't even care. What could have been, mind you, he's a lawyer. So it wasn't like he was Joe Schmo from the freaking convenience store. He was making 65 cents an hour, back in the day. He was making some kind of money. He could have paid the $2.25 it cost to stay per night at the damn Paradise Hotel.
Or they were offering to put him up for free.
That's what I'm saying. That's the other thing. It was free.
He could have stayed there.
So it wasn't going to cost him anything. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay in the lunatic house.
People, like the people that are in, at the meeting to sell, it's like the mayor, the newspaper man, the sheriff, and...
Who's also the barber. It's one of those towns where they have like dual...
The telephone operator, they still have the telephone system there where someone's got to run the switchboard. You got to pick up the phone and be like, Tilda, get me Betty over at Klondike 485.
And just so you know, that was the woman's job. There was only one woman at the table amongst all the men, and she was the one that was the phone operator because back then they were all women.
Yeah.
That did the phone operator.
And they're all being real squirrely and weird about the house. They're all
real
like,
weird.
Sell us the house. And he's like, yeah, we planned on it. They're like, well, we'll try and raise up the money. I might have to go to Wilton to get the cash because he's asked for it to be cash by noon tomorrow.
Yep.
Which that's, even now it's kind of rushed to get $50,000 by the next day.
Yeah, back then, like, are you kidding me? That was a huge fucking deal to get that money.
I checked. $50,000 back in 1972 would be worth $390,000 now.
Hot darn, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's almost $400,000.
See, but I could see that house in modern time be worth $400,000. Also, that house still exists.
It's still in Oyster Bay, Long Island.
Okay, I need to go to Oyster Bay, Long Island and see this house because that house was gorgeous.
Not Oyster Bay, Long Island. Oyster Bay, New York. Jesus.
Oyster Bay, New York. Oh yeah, they got New York plates. But it's set though. It's not set. It's set in New England.
It just says,
That's what it says. So oh my goodness. So they stay at the house, and like in all things, my next favorite scene, the man, well,
let's mention the fact that while they're headed out there,
yes. Okay.
Mary Warnoff is driving home, and she passes by a very creepy looking guy by a broke down car on the side of the road, and she kind of pulls over and looks at him. He starts walking towards the car, and she's like, "Nah, this is not happening. This guy is way creepy."
Is he holding a wrench? What is he?
He's holding the tire tool.
Oh yeah, and then he fucking just breaks the fucking
the window on his own car randomly.
Yeah, and you're like, that's a psycho.
And then she speeds away and goes home and is like, well, fuck this.
Now, of course, like in all things, like you gotta have the 80s movie. Over the radio earlier, there was an announcement that there's a person that escaped an insane asylum.
And we see the guy from his POV. We see him swinging a wrench at people.
A guy or a woman, we don't know. It's
this person from the insane asylum is coming out. They're swinging a wrench, knocking people left and right. They jump in a car and drive away.
It looks just in case people wanted to know what the interior of that insane asylum looked like. It looked exactly like the insane asylum for the Frighteners, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
And this guy and gal, whoever, the inmate, they steal the car from the asylum and drive away, just like Michael Myers.
Yeah, so I'm watching the movie and I'm like, okay, so here's Michael. This is because he's driving like a person that never knew how to drive before. He's driving like a maniac. He's all over the place, okay, or he or she is all over the place. And I'm like, oh look, this is how Michael drove when he got in the car.
Yeah.
Which obviously later on. This movie came out in 1972, so this is the precursor to the Halloween.
There's a lot of things in this that you will find out are like, kind of inspired by Christmas, inspired some stuff from Halloween. A lot of people said later on when you look back at this, you're like, oh, this had a lot of slasher things in it before some of the others that they've talked about.
Yeah, which is wild that people don't really mention this.
Yeah.
Maybe because not that many people got killed, but people got killed. So I just don't understand.
Actually, a lot of people die in it, just not.
I would consider it to be an American slasher film.
Yeah. But so Mary Warnoff goes on home and is fixing her dinner because her father is the mayor.
Yeah, but
the dad's gonna come over and have like Christmas dinner with her.
Yeah, like
Christmas Eve.
way later. Yeah,
we see that, but. So then let's cut back to the lawyer and his much younger girlfriend.
Okay.
For some reason, the lawyer reminded me of a British guy. Even though he wasn't, he seemed like a British guy. And both of them their dental work came straight from the big book of British smiles.
Oh my God. Okay, we're going to stop you right there. So, yeah, she had a mouth on her. This woman. Okay. This woman decides, you know what? After a very long, travel, like I've been in the car for a while, a couple of hours, it's snowing. It's time to rest. I'm gonna not take a shower, okay? No shower, no bath, no cleanup. I'm gonna put perfume on, okay, behind my ears. And then I'm going to get booty ass naked and lay in the bed with my rabbit coat over me. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, but my favorite part, when they went upstairs and they were looking to see if they were going to stay, she's literally in the room and you hear her ask like, oh, where's the bed? Where's the bed? Bitch, turn around. The bed was literally right there behind her. And the even crazier part, there was a mirror. Okay? So she's facing the mirror. You can see the bed behind you. Yeah. I don't know what the whole thing was with why she couldn't find this bed. Maybe she was playing like, oh no, where's the bed? Like, I'm just so aloof. I have no idea. Trying to lure him in the bed. I don't know. But yes. But then we have her with, the rabbit coat on. And, he gets in the bed and they're doing their thing. Now, while all this is happening, here we have...
The black-gloved killer is entering the house.
He's entering the house and he had been there earlier. He had been there earlier looking at some things, but he had entered the house and then he goes and I can't help but think about student bodies. Like, I thought about student bodies so many times throughout this movie, but
he's coming up the stairs huffing and puffing.
Yeah, he is like, he has asthma. He's like asthmatic. I don't understand what the whole time he was just could barely fucking breathe. And yeah, he murders the shit out of them. It's very bloody.
Yeah, he chops them up with an axe.
There's no titties, by the way. If anyone wanted to know, there's no nudity in this film. Even though they went out of their way to have her naked under the rabbit coat. I mean, I feel like that was like a perfect opportunity, at least for there to be a nipple. But there's no nipples. Okay.
And then when he's done, he puts a crucifix in the girl's hand.
What was that about? And
then the killer, goes downstairs, calls on the phone to the operator, and is like, "Tilda, is that you? It's me, Mary Ann." And his voice sounds about like that.
Yeah,
it's me, Mary Ann.
I think her name was Tess, but whatever.
Tess, where I told her I was a T name, I couldn't remember.
Well, so it could have been Tilda Tess. But yes.
And she's like, "Oh no, is that you?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's me.
It's me. Come meet me in the house."
So this old lady, she calls the sheriff and says...
She called everybody. No one answered the phone. No one there.
Because the sheriff, he also gets a call.
Everybody gets a call to come to the house.
To come to the house. And the sheriff, he is going out to the house, he sees someone messing around in the old graveyard on the way to it's on like the property. So he stops to investigate, gets out in the pitch black night with his sunglasses on.
Why he wearing sunglasses? I don't understand.
Maybe his name was Sheriff Corey Hart.
Wow.
Because he had to wear his sunglasses at night.
Yeah, no, I get it. Right?
Okay, I'm just explaining it for the younger listeners that might not.
Okay, which is a song. Guys, no. Why is he wearing sunglasses? Okay, that part, like, there's some ridiculous ass parts in this movie. My thought is, like, maybe it was daytime, but somehow they, like, colored the film to be dark. I don't understand why he was...
Then he gets shoveled to death by the killer.
Yeah, he does. He gets shoveled.
And then they just leave the car out there with the lights on, the sirens flashing. And meanwhile, the operator, Tess...
And all the bodies disappear, just like in Halloween. Yeah. The bodies aren't left where they're murdered. They're moved elsewhere.
Yeah, and then Tess shows up at the house, goes inside, and is immediately confronted by the killer and promptly murdered. We don't really see how.
No, hold on. You just skipped over, like, a whole thing. No. She's on her knees for some... She can't see. And she's on her knees for some reason. And because she tripped or some shit. I don't know what happened. The most important thing is, like, give me your hand. I'm going to help you. Give me your hand. And she gives her the hand. And boom, her hand gets fucking chopped off. And it looked amazing. I'm going to tell you. The hand falling. And the hand looks great. That was a great... And then, yes, her kills off screen. She gets murdered off screen. Yeah. We see the hand. But obviously, after you lose a hand, you're done for.
Well, no, it didn't chop her hand off. He used someone else's hand to help her up, remember?
Oh, no, obviously, no. I thought he chopped her hand off because... Are you sure it wasn't her hand? Because the hand was...
someone else's hand.
Okay, the hand had a bracelet on, though. It had jewelry on. And also, it was a little thick, like she was. Oh, yeah, he or she had the audacity to tell her that she was fat. Okay?
Because this person that sounds like a man is telling everyone that her name is Mary Ann.
Yeah, Mary Ann, yes. Since Mary Ann was like, "Oh, you look... I knew it was you. You look a little different, the same, but just fat." I was like, what? And mind you, yes, it's the 70s, but I was like, rude much.
Yeah.
The whole movie, there's the people, the main townspeople that you saw in that room, they're all lured into the house for this individual to get said revenge on them. You don't really know why until way later in the film. The film did come out a long time ago, but I don't really want to give the film away.
But one of my favorite scenes that we can talk about, and I love this is the best thing I've seen in a movie in a long time, is the hitchhiker, who we know is the client to buy the house. He shows up at Mary Warnoff's house, knocks on the door. Because she, of course, is there sitting in front of the giant window, wrapping presents in the middle of the night. And it's pitch
black outside, okay? It's snowing, or there's snow on the ground. The window is ajar. Like the curtains are wide open, like it's a sunny fucking day.
Everyone can see in the house. So he sees her and then comes to the door and knocks on the door. Now, this is one scene I've never seen in any other movie. She goes over, gets a pistol out of the drawer, and then stands next to the gun rack that's in the house. It's got multiple rifles in it.
Literally above her head.
And then says, come in.
She unlocks the door.
And then comes and says, come in. And when he comes to the door, she's standing at the other part of the room with the pistol pointed right at him. And it's like, who are you and what do you want? And he's like, I'm Jeffrey Butler. I'm here to sell the house of things. She goes, I'm going to need to see your identification. And she takes his ID and checks his ID. And she goes, oh, California driver's license. Well, that checks out. And hands it to him. And then it's like, oh, so you're that. So then she relaxes and puts the gun away. But she still stands next to the rifle rack for a while just to let him know, like, I will get this rifle out and kill your ass.
Mary Warnoff holding that fucking gun out, like, she's a badass. Like, that's the best part.
Yeah. I think what you're thinking of chopping the hands off is someone else later on gets both hands chopped off.
We're going back to the hands now. Well, we're going to have to go back and revisit that scene because I could have sworn she puts her hand out, he cuts it off, and then her robust hand falls to the ground with the bracelet on.
But someone else does get both hands cut off.
They do, but that's that obvious. That was John Carradine when he's waving his stubs while he's running in the dark out into the fucking snowy road. This is a movie where there's a lot of crazy shit that happens in the movie. The movie takes a crazy turn at one point towards the end where you're like, WTF, okay? And then the reveal is just like, what? What is this? Like, who thought about this movie? Like, the person that wrote this script, like, are they okay? Like, wow. It's a lot.
A lot of the actors in this movie were apparently part of Andy Warhol's troupe. So that explains a lot of it. And then, obviously, one of the writers of this was that Michael Convich, and he, in the Sentinel, it's the same kind of thing. There's something creepy happening in a house with a lot of old people and things. So he obviously kind of kept some ideas from this a little bit with the old people and being creepy and that. And yeah, it did not go where I thought it was going to go at all. It goes in a completely different direction. If you think you know where it's headed, you don't. Because I thought I knew what was going to happen, and then it was like, oh no, that didn't happen at all.
For me, there may be some plot holes. There's some things that did bother me about the movie that just did not make sense. But the movie's so crazy, and it's just for the time. I mean, this is pre-Halloween. This is
Black Christmas. Even.
Black Christmas. Like, there's so many crazy things that happen that I'm like, I can't believe I've never even heard about this film before. And that people don't really reference it because even Joe Bob will literally go out and said like, oh, Black Christmas started it all. Like, and it's like, well, obviously not, because this movie existed. Now, maybe because even Night of the Living Dead has gotten its notoriety. And I'm not saying this is like, oh my gosh, this is a movie that's whatever. But you got to give credit where credit's due.
Yeah, this one should definitely be, more people should see it and talk about it, because there's a lot of, influences you see in other movies that came from this.
Now, we'll have to say that this movie covers both Christmas Eve and New Year's.
Yeah, there's a great New Year's Eve scene in this at one point that I'm like, okay, I didn't expect this to go into New Year's Eve, too.
No, but the Christmas, there's no fucking Christmas anywhere. There's nothing. There's not one mistletoe, not one
People
ribbon.
Are wrapping presents.
People wrapping presents.
She might have had a tree in her house. I can't remember.
I don't remember there being a tree, but it wasn't giving. Even though that's the section it was in Canopy, I thought it was more winter horror. But because of the upcoming holiday,
and it does technically take place on Christmas and New Year's, so it kind of takes place. So you got two holidays in one with this one.
Yes,
it'd be like if Halloween kept going until Thanksgiving.
Yes, I had to think about that for a second. I was like, "What? That would be something." That's a lot. That's a lot of days. That's a whole month.
Yeah, you just have to stretch this one out for a week.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that far. I give this film. I don't want to rate the film, actually. For me, I don't want to rate it because I don't want to say it's 2 knives or 3. It's definitely not 4 knives. It's not Fright Night. I don't want to say 2 knives because then it gives off that it was a terrible movie. It held my attention the whole time, and I was just so like, what am I watching? Like, what is happening right now? I was not bored. I was not bored with the film whatsoever.
Yeah, it's pretty short. It's like an hour and 25 minutes, so it breezes by really fast, and it's so different than what you're expecting, because I was expecting a serial killer to show up on Christmas Eve, and then he was going to be dressed like Santa or something, and that would be it.
And there's so many movies with so similar titles. You have Silent Night, Deadly Night, Silent Night, Bloody Night, right? That's this one. But I think there's another Silent Night, Bloody Night for some reason. There's a lot of Silent Night, dot nights.
Technically, someone made a sequel to this in like 2016 that uses some elements from this, and apparently they do the Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 thing, where they use a lot of footage from this in flashbacks, and it did not get a lot of great reviews.
When we had that whole time when we did the Silent Night.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh, yeah, that is like a whole thing. And I remember one of them, didn't they also have one where they used stock footage? Using the footages of the other film to like as fillers is crazy to me.
Yeah. Which, when it's running short when you got to use footage from your other movie to fill it in, or like in Sleepaway Camp when they had to they used slow motion to stretch it out for a few seconds to make the movie exactly 90 minutes or whatever it had to be.
Yeah, that is pretty wild. Yeah, I 2.5, 2 and whatever's closer to. I'm terrible with math.
2.5 knives.
So more than 2.5 knives. I wanted to be close to like
2 3/4.
2 3/4 knives is what I'm giving this.
All right, that's fair. I'll go with that too. It's very interesting. Like I said, I was not bored. There's enough craziness that happens every time something new happens. You're like, what the fuck is happening in this movie? Because it's like one of those memes that you read where you're like, every sentence went a different direction than what I thought it was going to, and everything just went completely different. And I am still loving that scene of Mary Warnoff where she just says, yeah, come on in, opens the door, and she's just got the fucking revolver pointed at you, and it's like, no, start some shit, son. Go ahead, let's see how this goes for you.
Yeah, that scene is like, what?
Yeah, she's not fucking around. She's the mayor's daughter, and she's ready to kill.
Well, you should definitely check it out. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere else besides Canopy.
It's on Tubi, I believe.
But yeah, it may be on Tubi. Check it out. If you're not, Silent Night, Bloody Night.
Or look for it as Deathouse.
Deathouse with 1 H. Okay?
Yeah.
So Deathouse, if you're spelling it phonetically, because it's not death its own word and house its own word. There's only 1 H.
And it also comes up as the Night of the Dark Full Moon as well.
Night of the Dark Full Moon. Just like, what?
It is streaming on Tubi, Roku, Fandango with ads, and Canopy. It's on Plex. It's on a lot of places to see.
Yeah, check it out this season, and let us know. Did you agree with us? Did you think this movie is just bonkers? Did you absolutely hate it?
And yeah, let us know in the comments. And also, it's the Christmas season. If you're feeling generous out there and you would like to shoot us a little Christmas present,
or Hanukkah
or New Year's, send us a present through our link on the Buy Me a Coffee page. It would also be great if you'd leave us a rating and review. Any of those things would help. We're trying to upgrade our equipment and get some new computers and stuff going. So if you can shoot us a couple of dollars, that would be great.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. And happy holidays. And stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.